guy. I know this guy.
He joined me. How are you? I know you're comfortable here.
I am. Hi, everybody in Hammond, Oregon land. This is Emiko with Hammond Organ's HTV, and I am sitting here with Hammond Brother Steve Aguilar. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me here today.
We've been tracking Steve down. Steve is one of the hardest working keyboard players, producers, touring musicians that I've ever met in my life. His Instagram feed is another city, another day. He's in 16 different places at once. It's unbelievable. And if you check him out and you see his rig, you have an SK2, right?
I have an SK2 right now, but I can't not have this. I gotta have this. This sounds so good.
Do you have a backpack big enough I can help you carry it out?
I'm sure we could manage something out. We'll figure something.
So Steve became a Hammond artist officially into the family last year, right?
Last year I was on tour.
Right, and what is so fantastic about Steve is that at the time you were touring with Bad Seeds.
Tomorrow's Bad Seeds, yeah. They're like a reggae, rock, punk kind of outfit. All kinds of styles in there. And hip hop too.
Right, and what made it so fascinating was that it's not the usual place that you'd see a Hammond organ. And so we took a look at him and we went, right, this guy right here.
It's a little different.
We gotta have him. So talk to us a little bit about how you integrate Hammond into the live show.
Well, basically with a band like that, I get to use all of the functions on this board because it's got all kinds of phasers, tremolos, distortions, and with a band like that, they have all kinds of styles. So you got to kind of find your route inside that with the Hammond Sound, which is, to me, my voice. So I find it within that Hammond. And this keyboard, my SK2 as well, it has so much flexibility, as well as programming. So I have pianos up here sometimes, I have organ down here sometimes an electric piano up here, organ down here. I'm constantly flipping the favorites to match each song, so it's a great flexible board.
And have you found that the SK2 and also the SKX now, does it make it easier for you?
Way easier, oh my gosh. I used to have to lug around so many keyboards just to facilitate everything that I had to do in the set, and this is one board, good to go, let's do this,
Which is funny because if you see Steve's setup, he's got the SK2 and then a bunch of other keyboards and some rack gear, and so to think the SK2 in your case has actually made it easier and streamlined it. I can only imagine what you were traveling with.
It was a beast of a setup. Many men to move.
Yeah, all of whom are all of a sudden inconveniently busy all at once, right? When you have to haul it.
Yep. And when stuff's going wrong, they move cables around and all kinds of stuff.
Right. So tell us how you got started with Hammond organ. When did it first become introduced into your life, and how?
I heard a Grateful Dead album. Brett Midland was the keyboard player, and he just screamed this organ solo in this song called New Minglewood Blues, and I heard that sound. I said, I have to make that sound. I don't know what that sound is even, but I need to make that sound. And I hunted it down. Ever since then, I was maybe 13 years old. And ever since then, it's just been a journey. Hammond just took me. It was it. It became my voice,
Did you have a Hammond teacher, or did you learn yourself?
I learned myself. I started with digital keyboards, and then moving into amplifiers, and then learning about the Leslie, and then I had to get the Leslie, and so it was just a huge evolution. So now to be sitting here as a Hammond artist, you have no idea what an honor, and it's humbling. It's really amazing.
Well, it really is, young men and women like yourself that make up Hammond's next generation.
Right.
And so in that sense, I'd like to talk to you and get your thoughts on how you feel, especially nowadays when everything is digital, everything is sampling, everything is sort of electronica-based music, especially in the pop and rock world. How do you feel Hammond is fitting in, and what do you see us doing, for the music of tomorrow?
Well, here's something that's really interesting. When I'm touring and I'm out in the world and I'm lugging the Leslie around and this, people are always like, what is that? I've heard that sound, but I don't know what it is. So I almost feel like I'm a little bit of an educational tour at the same time, because people want me to explain the Leslie, they want me to explain the drawbars and how they work, and people who have heard that sound, they're like, oh, that's what that is, I see. And I think today, a lot of kids are finding ways to to use these sounds in new and exciting ways. Like, it's just so different. I heard a guy the other night who's a friend of mine, and he was doing the most unique things with it too. I was like, oh, this is awesome. You know, the Hammond sound is now like widening. You know, it's really beautiful. I'm really happy the way.
Well, I know there's one thing about the Hammond Sound, that there's a lot of clone wheel stuff out there. I like to call it a Spammond, like it's a fake Hammond.
Yeah.
And the sound, they use the word Hammond sort of generically, like someone says,
Right,
oh, I'm going to
right.
go get a Starbucks, I'm going to Google it, I'm going to
Right,
make a
right.
Xerox. Well, no,
Now
you're
stands
not.
for
It's
coffee, yeah.
right. It's the generalization of it. And so when somebody actually sits down to a Hammond and plays it like you do,
Right.
I think people have these phenomenal reactions to
Yes.
it. You know, what's one of the best reactions that you've gotten either on stage or right after a show when you've played about the Hammond?
I did a show in Hermosa Beach in front of about 7,000 people. They asked me to play the Star Spangled Banner. So I spent weeks coming up with my own kind of version, and after I got off stage, after shaking and playing that song, because deceivingly easy it is, but it's like, you got to do it right. So I came off stage, and the woman that was throwing the whole event came up to me. She's like, that brought me to tears, hearing the way you interpreted it, the sound and the glory of it, you know, and that was like the biggest honor to hear that, especially about that song, you know.
So now, Steve, one of the things that I love about you is you have been evangelizing Hammond organs on your own long before you were officially on the artist roster, and that's true love to us. You know, we look for that. So this is a sort of a pop quiz question that we ask all of our HTV first-time interviewers. The first 3 words off the top of your head to describe Hammond organ, go.
Love, strength, and power. Those are my 3 words.
Wow. Those are very unique and very thoughtful words, I must say.
It pulls on your heartstrings when you play this instrument, and when you feel this instrument. You know, I love sitting in a room with guys who know how to use this instrument. It just resonates with me. You know, it's just a very powerful instrument. You know.
Fantastic. Now I'm going to ask you a question that I rarely ask other artists. We've talked to Jimmy Smith about this a little bit and a couple of other folks. You were very big on social media, and a lot of and as the social media liaison for Hammond organ, you know, we're finding out more and more so many people love Hammond, and they're out there talking, reposting, sharing, tagging, etc., etc. Now you've had your own, what's the word I'm looking for, very unique way to fame through social media, right? So can you talk to us a little bit about how you developed your following, and how do you feel social media is important when it comes to artist relationships with brands?
I feel it's important because, you know, it's almost like back in the day when you heard about music the first time. It was usually through a friend of yours, you know, and I'm always excited about something. I try to be as genuine as I can on my feed, and so when I'm excited about something and I'm at my rig and I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, I just want to share this. I'm so excited about it. I take the picture, I post it up, and I'm really blown away by how much it connects with people, actually. So I love social media. I think it's a great thing. I think that I met you through social media, you know?
This is true. Right on Instagram, right?
Yeah. Exactly, because you resonated with it, you know, because we resonated. And I've met so many people, I've met so many people here that I'm friends with on Instagram that I've never met in person. So it helps stretch your friendships, you know, across the world. And when I tour, I have people on the guest list that are on my Instagram feed, and I'm like, finally, we get to meet in person, you know? It's awesome. And it's just spreading the music, spreading the love. It's good.
Steve Aguilar, thank you for joining us on HTV, brother.
You're awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys for tuning into HTV. For more artist interviews, backstage footage, exclusives, product demos and reviews, and all sorts of new concerts, remember to subscribe to HTV, which is youtube.com/HammondTVUSA. Until next time, this is your humble host, Emiko. Peace out. We love you, Ham Fam. See you next time.